wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
We are the Breakfast Club. Let's get in some front page news. Now, the Western Conference Final starts today. Minnesota Timberwolves taking on Oklahoma City at 8:30 tonight. And congratulations in the NFL to Shedeur Sanders. He signed a 4-year, $4.6 million contract with the Browns. So,
all you need is an opportunity, man.
Mm-hmm.
It don't matter where you start. All you need is an opportunity.
That's right. What's up, Morgan?
Hey, y'all. Hey, so good morning. How y'all feeling? Good on this
Blessed,
Tuesday?
black, and highly favored.
Love to hear it. All right, first up on front page, President Trump is speaking publicly for the first time after former President Biden's cancer diagnosis was announced. Yesterday, he told reporters he was surprised at the delay in the public finding out, referring to Biden's stage 4 cancer as stage 9. And then he went on to say that he took part in a complete physical and cognitive test recently, saying he aced them. Let's hear from President Trump.
I'm surprised that it wasn't, the public wasn't notified a long time ago, because to get to stage 9, that's a long time. I did a very complete physical, including cognitive tests. I'm proud to announce I aced it. I got them all right. I think, frankly, anybody running for president should take a cognitive test.
Yeah, so just so people know that cancer only reaches about stage 4 before it.
Stage 4. There is no stage 9. I was listening to a doctor who was on Morning Joe yesterday, and he said either they didn't test President Biden or they covered it up.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong about that.
Oh, no, that ain't me now. I'm quoting what the doctor from Morning Joe.
And they said they was talking about his Gleason score was a level 9, which means it's very aggressive. His Gleason score, but there is no stage 9 cancer.
No, yes. Okay, so Biden, he addressed his cancer diagnosis in a post on X yesterday, saying cancer touches all of us. Of course, it's been 10 years since Biden lost his son, Beau, to brain cancer. He went on to say in the post that it's his first since the news broke on Sunday, that like many of you, Jill and him, he learned that they were the strongest in the broken places. So the former president ended by thanking everyone for their well wishes and for lifting his family up with love and support. In other presidential type news, Trump is saying direct peace talks between Russia and Ukraine will start immediately. In a post on Truth Social, Trump said his call with Russian President Vladimir Putin about the war with Ukraine went very well. Now, the two leaders spoke for almost 2 hours on Monday, and Trump suggested the ceasefire talks take place at the Vatican. Meanwhile, Vice President J.D. Vance is questioning whether Russian President Vladimir Putin has an exit strategy for the war in Ukraine. Let's take a listen to J.D. Vance's comments.
Look, I think one open question is Vladimir Putin serious about negotiating peace, right? He has made some concessions. He has taken some serious steps in these conversations, but we feel like, we're at a point where we're hitting an impasse, and that's why the president is talking to him on the phone. I think, honestly, that President Putin, he doesn't quite know how to get out of the war.
So the Trump administration has recently expressed frustrations with both parties after they failed to reach a consensus on a 30-day ceasefire proposal. So to be clear, it's only talks about a ceasefire that's happening immediately, not so much the ceasefire itself. So I'll keep you guys posted on those talks. And today, President Trump will attend a House Republican conference meeting as lawmakers work to pass what he calls his big, beautiful bill. As previously reported, the bill cleared the GOP-led Budget Committee in the House on Sunday. Trump is expected to make a proposal pitch to the legislation at the meeting today. It includes a major spending increase for immigration enforcement and the military, and of course, extensions to Trump's 2017 tax cuts and cuts to Medicaid, SNAP, and clean energy funding. Now, GOP lawmakers are looking at changes that could make House passage more difficult this week. I'm sure some of those cuts to programs like Medicaid and SNAP are going to be a little bit of a challenge for those House Republicans, but we will see. I'm actually going to head out to the Capitol Hill after we get off air today and see if I can meet the president there as he arrives. So I will keep you guys posted tomorrow as to what all takes place on Capitol Hill today as a result of Trump's meeting. So what do you guys think about what's happening with this so-called big, beautiful bill?
You got to wait and see if it gets passed.
Yeah, this is true. All right, y'all. You're like, all right, y'all.
I was thinking, I'm interested in, the Biden stuff because, Jake Tapper's book, Original Sin, comes out today, which I'm looking forward to reading. And, this book talks about his inner circle and how his inner circle kept his mental decline and health diagnosis from others. So I think they announced, his President Biden's prostate diagnosis to get in front of that book.
Some of the other stuff that's coming out.
And whatever may be in that book. And I'm looking forward to reading it because I want to see if people like Jake Tapper, hold themselves and their networks like CNN accountable for how much they didn't report on. Because they're all complicit in not calling a thing in regards to President Biden.
Regarding his health, you mean? Regarding his health?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right.
Well, stage 4, you're not wrong about that. To find out about stage 4 at this point, yeah, somebody didn't say something before, so there's that. But that's your front page news for 6 a.m. At 7 a.m., we're going to tap into what's going on in New Jersey and, of course, Louisiana with the escapee inmates. So we'll get into that later.
All right. Everybody else, get it off your chest. 800-585-1051 if you need to vent. Phone lines are wide open again. 800-585-1051. Call us up right now. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning. Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. Let's get back in some front page news. Now, quick sports. The Western Conference Final starts today. The Timberwolves versus OKC starts at 8:30. And salute to Shedeur Sanders. He signed a 4-year contract worth $4.6 million with the Browns.
When did the Knicks play tomorrow?
On Wednesday. Yep.
Okay.
What up, Morgan?
Hey, y'all. Hey, so let's get back into it. Louisiana leaders are pointing the finger at each other as the police hunt for 7 of the 10 inmates who broke out of a New Orleans jail continues. Now, Louisiana Republican Governor Jeff Landry claimed leaders and policies in New Orleans, or progressive leaders and policies in New Orleans, aided the escaped, but he is confident that all the inmates will be recaptured. Let's take a listen to Louisiana Republican Governor Jeff Landry.
We have got hundreds of law enforcement agents that are working 24/7 around the clock hunting these folks down. This is what happens when those people promise that to keep criminals out of jail. Sadly, you get 10 of the most dangerous inmates that are in jail in Louisiana, they get to escape.
Yeah, they said they believe it was an inside job. If you've seen the pictures, the fact that the toilet was connected to the wall that was connected to the outside and you could just dig right through it, that just seems dumb as hell.
Yeah, leaders are saying that they obviously somebody dropped the ball on this. Now, the Democratic Orleans Parish DA, District Attorney Jason Williams, he disputes what Governor Landry is saying, and he details what he was doing while Governor Landry was basically saying this guy is being soft on crime. Let's take a listen to Orleans Parish District Attorney Jason Williams.
I was going through jail calls in an effort to try to figure out who might have been involved and knew of this planned jailbreak. And it is frustrating that the governor would not have just simply called me over the weekend. My phone was on.
So Landry said the video of those prisoners escaping epitomizes a progressive criminal justice system. Williams says that's not the case, and he was actively working on their capture. Now, the inmates faced various charges, including murder, domestic abuse, and felony firearm possession. Landry has ordered the Louisiana Attorney General to investigate how the inmates escaped and who would be considered responsible as a result of their escape. Now, meanwhile...
all of them were... I heard all of them had murder charges, too. Is that true?
Not all of them, but I know
not all of them. No, they range from murder to domestic abuse, felony firearm possession. So there are a few different charges. But there's a murderer amongst them.
I just wonder where you escaping. Like, where you going? Like, you don't have no plan. You ain't got no money. You ain't got no resources. Like, what you doing? Just laying out in the woods? And by the way, if you're facing like a life charge or something, I mean, I can see you probably trying to escape just to go get like, some gumbo, a po' boy, some poom poom.
Get some food to keep moving.
That's all.
But they found, I think, one in the French Quarter. He was sleeping under a parked car.
Nothing else to do.
There's nowhere to go.
You left a jail cell
with no money,
with a bed, and a toilet to go sleep under a car.
Did y'all see like the hole that they were supposedly like sneaking through?
Yep.
It don't even look like they could fit through that. And that big poles going down the middle. How they get through that?
That's what prison is all about. Big poles going in the holes that you can barely fit
Yo.
through. Jesus. That's what it's all about.
It's the one that fell in the video for me. I'm like, how you gonna fall just as soon as you get out? Thanks.
Girl, they were so excited to go. They ain't know what to do.
Yeah, to your point, Envy, one was also captured at an abandoned warehouse. So, yeah, we'll see what happens as a result of this. Yeah. Meanwhile, interim U.S. Attorney General for the District of New Jersey, Alina Habba, is announcing charges against New Jersey Democrat LaMonica McIver over an incident at an ICE detention center this month. Now, McIver is being charged with assaulting law enforcement while at the detention center in Newark, making the first time President Trump's DOJ has criminally charged a sitting lawmaker during his second term. Now, Habba said McIver's conduct cannot be overlooked, accusing the Congresswoman of assaulting, resisting, and impeding law enforcement. McIver said in a statement that she was performing her lawful oversight responsibilities. Now, this is in tandem with that issue that is going on with the Newark City Mayor, Ras Baraka is his name?
Yeah, I've been calling him Mayor Ras Baraka for years.
For the
But
longest
Envy
time.
said this morning it's Ras.
Now, I heard it on the news, and I heard him. He called himself Raz. So we're looking it up to get his proper pronunciation.
But, you mentioned earlier that his charges has been dropped. Well, in tandem with that, she has now been charged in that situation. So I'm going to continue to keep you guys posted as to what happens as a result of these charges being brought against this elected official, LaMonica McIver in New Jersey. And bringing things home to you guys in New York, the NTSB says they will not speculate on what caused Saturday's deadly crash into the Brooklyn Bridge, the ship crash that happened at the, on the East River into the Brooklyn Bridge. Now, board member Michael Graham detailed the crash, saying it happened around 8:25 p.m. on Saturday. The Mexican Navy ship struck the Brooklyn Bridge, damaging the ship's 3 masts. The incident also left 2 dead and more than a dozen others injured. Now, Graham went on to say the process will take some time. Let's take a listen to his comments.
Within 30 days, we will have a preliminary report. A normal full investigation, which this is for an accident, our investigations take normally between 12 months to 24 months.
Yeah, so investigators arrived on the scene yesterday morning, and the NTSB is working with Mexico to actually gain access to the Mexican Navy ship, which remains docked off Lower Manhattan. Now, the FDNY is using drones to examine the bridge, which did not sustain structural damage, so the bridge is okay. The video will be shared with the NTSB for their 30-day preliminary report. Now, FDNY Chief Mike Myers says their job is to also ensure public safety, so they want to make sure that the public knows, New Yorkers know that they're okay with walking across the bridge, driving across the bridge, and then basically just using the bridge as per normal. But as of right now, the NTSB is working with Mexico to gain access to that Navy ship. And of course, there are going to be some Mexican authorities that stick around with that ship to make sure that the repairs take place so that they can get it back on the water and back to where it was initially supposed to be going. So that's your front page news. I'll continue to keep you guys updated. You guys can follow me on socials at Morgan Media, and for more news coverage, follow at Black Information Network. Download the free iHeartRadio app and visit us at binnews.com. Thank y'all. Have a great Tuesday.
All right, you too, now, Morgan.
Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.